You're watching Cox Connections only on Cox 11. The Elizabeth River was presumed dead due to contamination from local industries as well as stormwater runoff from residential areas. Now, thanks to the Elizabeth River Project, this watershed is getting a chance at returning to its original state as a healthy, living river.
This is Money Point. Located on the southern branch of the Elizabeth River in Chesapeake, Virginia, it's Elizabeth River Project's largest restoration project to date. Last year, Elizabeth River Project, in cooperation with the Living River Restoration Trust, NOAA, Department of Game and Inland Fisheries, U.S. EPA, and the Fish America Foundation, restored 7 acres of tidal wetlands here and removed 2 barge loads of toxic goo associated with cancer in fish. The new wildlife habitat is located on the property of Elizabeth River Terminals and was completed in November of 2009. Now, after less than 1 full growing season, scientists from Elizabeth River Project, NOAA, and U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service have come to the site to determine whether they have been successful in their effort to create a healthier home for the Elizabeth's native fish, birds, and other river creatures.
When you build marshes like this, one of the things, the questions that people have, whether they actually act like real marshes.
Walter Priest is a marine habitat resource specialist with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. He and his colleagues played an integral role in the design and construction of these wetlands, known as Money Point Phase 1.
That's what we're here to demonstrate.
So what did they find? The scientists were thrilled to catch, count, and release more than 15 species of fish that have already returned to the marsh, including mummichog, flounder, croaker, speckled trout, and sheepshead. These marsh grasses, which didn't even exist less than 1 year ago, now provide a safe home for thousands of juvenile fish and crabs, and are sure to do the same for future generations.
Spearheading the cleanup are ERP's Executive Director Marjorie Mayfield Jackson and Director of Watershed Restoration Joe Rieger. Thanks for being a guest on the show today.
What a pleasure to be
Marjorie,
here.
let me start with you. Tell us a little bit about how the project started.
We started around a kitchen table, really.
And this was 1991?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
And I was a reporter at the Virginian Pilot. I wasn't even covering the environment. But I hated the headlines that said that our fish had cancer. And so just a couple of citizens got together and we thought, can we do anything to bring back our home river? And what we found out was a lot of people wanted to be a part of it.
So you started off sitting around that table with a great idea and other people just joined in. What's the mission of the project?
We are working to make the urban Elizabeth River, our home river, safe again for swimming and eating oysters.
And Joe, we saw in the video that area, I guess, was called Money Point. Tell us a little bit about, or rather, why is that cleanup area important?
Before the cleanup started, most of the area on the bottom of the river was dead. There wasn't much living there. And then once we came in and did the cleanup, we saw a large amount of fish and other animals, river animals, moving back into the area. And you saw us monitoring in that segment, and we saw 17 different species returning to the area. And also, prior to it, the fish had high levels of cancer. And so we're hoping that once that's completed, we'll be able to see a reduction in the cancer in the fish.
So how healthy is the river now?
The river's seen significant improvements over the last 20 years. We still have a ways to go, and we need everyone's help to help reduce the bacteria so we can make it safe for swimming and fishing.
So I'm going to press you. How far do we need to go before it's safe for swimming and use, and how much work is there left to get done?
There's a considerable amount of work that we have to do to get us there. We've set a goal of making it swimmable and fishable by 2020, and so I think that we need all of our partners to work together to get us there by then. Speaking
of partners, Marjorie, let me ask you: are there some educational initiatives that are underway to get people up to speed on some of the things that are going on here with the project?
Absolutely. We've been working with industries since the beginning of this effort, and we do have 80+ businesses that we call Riverstar businesses. But lately we've come up with a new program that's for citizens, and it's called Riverstar Homes. And it's all about what you can do in your own backyard to help bring back the river.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, everybody can do a piece of this, and we actually have a goal of 25,000 citizen soldiers to bring about what we call the river revolution here on the Elizabeth.
And so are there things that, if I'm sitting here listening to this, hearing you talk, are there things that I can do? And I think we have a graphic here, I guess, some of the things that we can do to help in this effort.
Right. The top two things that you can do are to pick up your dog poop and do anything else you can think of to keep bacteria out of the river, because it gets in the stormwater runoff when there's a storm.
And I guess fertilizer.
And reduce your fertilizer, absolutely right. People use way too much fertilizer, way more than they need, and that washes into the river and causes the oxygen to deplete. And so that means that the fish are not healthy.
And I guess there's tell me a little bit about the Learning Barge and what's going on there.
The Learning Barge is the largest environmental vessel for education on the Chesapeake Bay. It's sun and wind powered, and it has a live wetland on it. And we see up to 120 kids a day. We do student field trips on it.
So you're starting with the young people to get them thinking about
Absolutely,
this issue. That's smart.
The Learning Barge is really popular with the students. They go through 6 learning stations and find out what they can do to help make the Elizabeth River safe for swimming and fishing.
That's wonderful. Tell me a little bit about the initiative. I guess there's Paradise Creek Nature Park.
Paradise Creek Nature Park. We really focused for about 10 years on Paradise Creek down in Portsmouth, getting everybody involved in making that creek healthy again. But there was nowhere that the public could go to enjoy the creek. So we came up with the idea of a park. It's actually going to be Portsmouth's 3rd largest park and a regional center for environmental education. It's very exciting. We hope to open it in 2012 with the city of Portsmouth.
So we mentioned earlier, and I think there was a graphic that showed the website where someone looking at this could look. We only have about a minute left. What else could a citizen do if they want to get involved in this project, if they wanted to support it in any fashion? What advice would you give them, Marjorie or Joe?
We have an annual festival called Riverfest, and it's going to be on the Lafayette River, where we have a special focus this year and in future years. And we'd love everybody to come on down to that festival. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of great education, a lot about let's do this for our home river. And as well, go to our website, as you mentioned, elizabethriver.org.
And the details on that festival can be found
on the festival and everything else, a menu of what you can do, and become a member, because really through membership support we do all this.
Well, I know we're out of time, but I'd be remiss if I didn't thank you for all of the great work you're doing to beautify this region and the work that you're doing with this project. Thank you so much for your dedication and your support.
Thanks for having us.
Well, right after the break, if you haven't checked out Cox's new solution stores, stop by and experience our services in an interactive environment that offers live hands-on demonstrations. It's just another way we are working to connect you, our customers. We'll be right back with more Cox Connections.